Am I the a-hole for telling all of my friends and family why my vacation home is off limits now unless they rent it? I rent out my house through a service that includes insurance when it is in use. The insurance does not cover when I lend my house out to friends and family since they are not paying. I have regular homeowners insurance for that. My brother was using my house with his family just after New Year's. It's a slow time and I wasn't going to lose out on much income. My nephew stayed up late one night and didn't go out for breakfast with his family. So he decided to make himself some food. He started a kitchen fire. And he freaked out and called 911 instead of using the fire extinguisher in the kitchen. He is 14, so I can't blame him too much. The smoke damage will cost about $8,700 to fix. I told my brother he could take his time paying me back. He said he wasn't going to pay for an innocent mistake. I needed the house in order, so I just fixed everything. I didn't go through insurance since I do not want my rates going up. I was obviously upset, so I posted about the fire and how pissed I was at my brother. Pretty much all my friends and family took the side of the innocent angel. They said it was unfair for me to expect that much money from him when he could have rented a hotel for one for the price. So I agreed. I said that from now on my house was off limits unless they rented it out or I was there and they came as my guests. Since I only use the house with my family, that means they can rent it all or use the only empty bedroom. It has a twin bed and a crib. Now the howling started that I'm being unfair to them for something that wasn't their fault. I offered to take up a collection from them to cover the repairs or the increased insurance premiums, and most of them shut up. I directed them all to my brother. He got quite angry at me for blaming him for the situation. I said I wasn't about to send a mob after my nephew. I bought the house after I got a settlement from a worksite accident. I used the income to supplement the difference in what I used to earn at my old job and what I do now. So I guess my question is, am I the a-hole for telling everyone who has a problem with me charging rent or stuffing a family into a room meant for 2 small children to talk to my brother about it?
Not the a-hole. Your brother deserves to be the one dealing with the flack. If I were him, I would have at least offered to pay the increased insurance premiums, or that amount monthly until the repairs were paid off if you didn't go through insurance. He is the one who wrecked it for everyone, and anyone who took his side I would not trust in my house.
Not the a-hole. This is a perfect example of no good deed goes unpunished. Your brother absolutely is responsible for paying for the repairs. It's no different than if you went over to his house and caused damage. So now if they're not willing to take responsibility for it, they can pay to stay with you or in a hotel that includes the insurance.
Not the a-hole. They aren't on the hook for something that wasn't their fault, but you are. They are mad their free cookies got taken away and are bitching about having to pay for cookies instead of being grateful for the free ones they got. And the parents chose to leave a minor who they are responsible for behind. They are liable for that child's actions according to the laws of most places. If you wanted to, you could sue them for the damages and they would have to pay, depending on where you are, and also, insurance in most places would not have counted this against you to have your rates go up if this was the only claim. I hoped you talked to your agent before you decided to take an $8,000 plus hickey. As far as charging the rest of the family, if you are in the US, there is a federal law about tax write-offs for the rental business for personal use excess of 14 days per year anyway. And that $8,000 could be seen as a business expense. I'd be pissed if I was out of pocket $8,000 for a fire someone started while staying there for free and they didn't even bother to pay for any of it. They are asinine and jealous and think what is yours should be theirs.
Not the a-hole. You should also consider suing your brother.
He doesn't have a lot of money. That's why I offered to let him pay it off over time.
Well and good, but if he's contesting that he owes you anything, you're not going to get a dime out of him unless you take him to court.
Not the a-hole. You're nicer than me. I would have gone to small claims court over it. I'm in a position in life where I'm tired of being taken advantage of by family, and it makes me internally rage seeing others taken advantage of by theirs and feeling guilty over it. Tell them to FO and deal with the consequences of their actions.
Am I the a-hole for refusing to cover my friend's portion of the bill at a restaurant? I recently went out to dinner with a group of friends to celebrate a birthday. We decided to split the bill evenly, as we usually do, to make things simpler. However, as we were calculating each person's share, we realized that one of our friends, let's call her Sarah, had ordered significantly more food and drinks than the rest of us. When the bill arrived, Sarah seemed taken aback by the total amount and sheepishly admitted that she had underestimated how much she had ordered. She suggested that we split the bill evenly anyway, reasoning that it would be fair since we all contributed to the celebration. However, I couldn't shake the feeling of unfairness. I had only ordered an entree and a non-alcoholic beverage, while Sarah had indulged in multiple appetizers, cocktails, and desserts. Splitting the bill evenly meant that I would end up paying for a portion of Sarah's extravagant meal, which didn't sit right with me. I politely expressed my concerns to the group, suggesting that we each pay for what we ordered to ensure fairness. However, Sarah became defensive and accused me of being cheap and ruining the mood of the celebration. Despite the tension, I stood my ground and insisted on only paying for what I had consumed. This led to an awkward confrontation at the table, with some of my friends siding with Sarah and others supporting my stance. In the end, we decided to split the bill based on individual orders, but the atmosphere remained strained for the rest of the evening. Sarah barely spoke to me for the rest of the night, and I couldn't help but feel guilty for potentially ruining the birthday celebration. So, Reddit, am I the a-hole for refusing to cover my friend's portion of the bill at a restaurant?
I had only ordered an entree and a non-alcoholic beverage, while Sarah had indulged in multiple appetizers, cocktails, and desserts. Been there, done that. Bought the t-shirt that someone else now wears, ironically. Not the a-hole. This is why I am particular and paranoid about who I go out to group dinners with. Tell the waiter when ordering how to split the bill. It avoids this bullshit. For the record, Sarah ruined the mood by demanding people fund her indulgences.
She knew exactly what she was doing. She just didn't expect anyone to confront her. Not the a-hole.
Not the a-hole. I hate it when someone decides to take advantage of the split evenly agreement by ordering way more than anyone else. Sarah 100% knew what she was doing and is resentful and embarrassed that she got called out for it. If she truly didn't realize, she would have, and should have, offered to kick in more.
Not the a-hole. I absolutely hate when people do this. If it's the norm for her to always order that kind of meal, that's one thing, but she definitely had the intention of displacing some of what she owed on the rest of the party. At the end of my college tenure, a group went out to breakfast at this touristy pancake place. I got some pancakes and a water and didn't pay attention to the other end of the table where one girl was ordering a lot more than just a normal breakfast. When the bill came, she sprung on us that it was her and another person's birthday coming up, and if we split it evenly to cover them, that would be great. Myself and someone else led the charge that my $8 bill was not going to jump up to $17 to cover a sudden birthday meal. She tried embarrassing me in front of the rest of our large party, asking if I didn't bring enough, to which I said, I have enough, I'm not paying more than double my bill. So she ruined the meal like that, but being the one to speak up against it makes people think you did something wrong by standing up for yourself. It was gladly the last time I saw most of those people, and definitely makes for a good story when this stuff comes up.
What do you think of these stories? Leave a comment and subscribe to the channel for more interesting stories.